Hey everybody, welcome back. Review a Day, episode number 162. I'm Leland, and thank you guys for joining me. It's a great week to love movies. The other day I saw the new Miyazaki film, Ponyo, which if you haven't seen my review of, go check that out. I loved that film a lot. Friday we've got Inglourious Basterds, the new film from Quentin Tarantino coming out, which I'm very excited to see. And last night I went and saw the new film from Chan Wook Park, Thirst. I was very excited about this movie. If you aren't familiar with the work of Chan Wook Park, specifically Old Boy, I think is definitely his best film. That's a really incredible film. If you liked Fight Club, I highly recommend checking out Old Boy. Or if you like a great film, foreign films, definitely check out Old Boy. It is a pretty incredible movie. It's one of my favorites. He did a Vengeance trilogy, Old Boy, Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, Lady Vengeance. All of them are pretty good. Old Boy is definitely the one to check out, though, if you only see one. This newest film, though, stars Kang Ho-sung, Ok-Vin Kim, and Hae-Suk Kim. I tried my best. Kang Ho-sung, who is the star of this movie, I am not pronouncing that correct, also was in the Korean film The Host, which is another really great monster movie that I really, really like. A lot of talent in this movie. I was very excited. It did pretty well at the Cannes Film Festival. Thirst centers around this Korean priest who goes and tries to be part of a trial run for a new vaccine of this disease. He catches the disease and ends up dying, and they attempt to give him a blood transfusion, and he comes back to life because it turns out that the blood he's given is vampire blood, and so he becomes a vampire. I think one thing I really, really dig about this movie, and I think what some of my favorite shit about vampires anyways, I think does, specifically Buffy, Chan Wook Park acknowledges that this is kind of a ridiculous story, that there is a inherent hokiness and cheese to a vampire story. I mean, there's a moment in this movie, and I think it's interesting because I think the main character's actions and kind of decisions in this film are influenced by the fact that he is aware of what vampires are, so he acts like how he thinks a vampire should. There's a scene when he's hanging upside down, from the eave of a roof, and he's looking in someone's window. He ends up sleeping in kind of a coffin, but it's really just a cabinet that's been dumped over, and he sleeps inside of it. Lots of really funny moments in this film, and I was not expecting that. There is a great moment in the movie when he tries to figure out whether or not he can fly, whether he turns into a bat. And it was so much fun to see Chan Wook Park play with the vampire mythology, and that is something I always look for in vampire films. It's something that Let the Right One In did. They take vampire mythology and they tweak it, and they make it interesting and cool. They don't make them shine like diamonds, in other words. I think I love this film. I absolutely adored it, and I'm afraid that not as many people are going to like this movie nearly as much as a film like Old Boy. Old Boy has a great twist ending, and it has some great violent action sequences. This film, I think, is much quieter than Old Boy. This movie is graphic and violent. I mean, if you are squeamish and you don't like blood, I would stay as far away from this movie as you possibly can. The movie is incredibly provocative and sexually explicit. If you aren't into violence and sexually explicit movies, I mean, you probably will not enjoy this film. There was a lot of nervous laughter in my theater when I saw this film. And I think that there is a lot of fun to be had with this movie, but the themes that are underlying this entire film, the themes that Chan Wook Park is dealing with are incredibly profound. I think it has so much to do with... There are so many themes in this movie. There's religious themes, there's themes of HIV and AIDS that are underlying the entire thing, and none of it is heavy-handed. I was thinking of District 9 when I watched this film quite a bit, and I loved District 9, and I love what that film attempted to do, but ultimately I'm watching something like Thirst, and it's done so lyrically and artfully that it's exactly what I want in a film. It never pounds me over the head with kind of the underlying message, and I love that about it. And on top of that, the film is gory as hell and a blast to watch. It's funny. The performances, I thought, were fearless and pretty... the actors deserve a ton of credit. The two stars, Kang Ho-sung and Ok-Vin Kim, the two leads, fearless. I think they deserve a ton of credit. I loved this film. I really did. I think the closing images of this film are pretty profound. There are so many iconic moments in this film that I think I'm going to really remember for many years to come. Thirst is probably my favorite film I've seen all year long. I give Thirst a 5 out of 5. It's been a while since I've seen a film that I thought really deserved the 5 out of 5, and I think Thirst is definitely one of them. If you're a fan of Park Chan Wook, I don't see how you could possibly... Chan Wook Park, I can never remember if it's Park Chan Wook or Chan Wook Park. But if you're a fan of his work, if you're a fan of Asian cinema, I think you're really going to dig this movie a lot. I highly recommend seeking it out. Go see Thirst. I loved it a lot. If you guys like this review, make sure to head over to nitpickit or dampercast.com. Links on the side. I'll see you guys tomorrow.